Now to Kayleigh McEneny, who
Something
been patiently
different.
waiting
Kayleigh
for us.
McEneny.
Something different. What can we do different?
Populism is very simple. It's listening to the American people.
Okay.
Honor the choice that the American people made.
All right.
People will have more money to work with, and it speaks to this president who made it all happen.
Kayleigh, welcome to the program.
Hey, Jamie, thanks so much for having me.
The New American Revolution, the Making of a Populist Movement. That is the name of her book. And, of course, she is the awesome spokesman for the RNC at Kayleigh McEneny. And I appreciate you hanging on. And, wow, I noticed they tried to make this whole Porter thing into some big blowout scandal. And it seems very simple to me. They heard some allegations. They tried to investigate them to a certain degree, and there was nothing in the formulation of charges, this or that. And it's with the exception of maybe Kelly having some problems because he knew about it a while back. This is an internal matter, and not the big deal they tried to make it yesterday.
Right, and it was taken care of, and it was taken care of swiftly. He will no longer be in the administration. The appropriate action was taken, but nevertheless, liberals will try to use this situation to demonize Republicans, paint the Trump administration in a bad light, as they always do. It's their typical go-to playbook. Meanwhile, you have General Kelly having said, "This is abhorrent. I do not support this behavior." We are unequivocally, obviously, on the side of women and against any sort of domestic abuse. There's no room for that kind of behavior. And the Trump administration was unmistakable about that. But the liberal media, of course, will try to use any situation.
Well, and again, and typically they keep on talking. Every time, it's like every 3 days, the media and even some of our unfortunate brethren in conservative media predict that someone's going to leave. And they've been doing that with Rex Tillerson, who, by the way, is in Latin America as we speak and still Secretary of State. And same with Kelly. And these guys just keep on trying. And meanwhile, the biggest scandal is right under their noses, and they're giving it nary an ounce of attention.
Absolutely. I mean, just think about the things we've learned this week, that Peter Strzok said President Obama wanted to learn everything, or actually Lisa Page had said that to Peter Strzok. Those, of course, are the two FBI lovers. We learn that Adam Schiff was on the phone trying to get opposition research from a Ukrainian, but it was a Russian, I think, who was posing, but regardless, it was a foreign power. Now we learn about Senator Warren, similar behavior. So you're learning all about this behavior that Democrats have accused Republicans of, but it's actually them that engaged in it, trying to get opposition research from foreign powers. And, of course, the media ignores it every step of the way.
Yeah, and then we have the situation with Mark Warner. I mean, this is, and plus that's actually a violation of the law. I mean, they've insinuated that the Trump campaign met with Russians and did this kind of thing, and that was illegal. But this was definitely, if it's all true, definitely is a violation of law.
Absolutely, and this is a lobbyist for a Russian oligarch who Senator Warren was trying to get information from. He even says that he doesn't want there to be a paper trail at one point. And contrast that to the Don Jr. meeting they made such a big deal about, where Don Jr. let out the email. He said, "I'm going to be transparent here. This is what it was about. I thought that they had information. It ended up being about Russian adoption." He was transparent every step of the way. Versus Senator Warner, talking about not having a paper trail. I mean, come on, it's Democrats here who are engaging with the Russians.
Yeah, in the meantime, it's amazing that we have had, and I know that there are differences of opinion regarding the budget here, and there will be, in spending, and I think there are a lot of people who have really swallowed a hard pill on the spending issue. But overall, though, we're seeing some major league success when it comes to the economy and when it comes to these businesses who are reinvesting and things like that. And I think those are, if you want to know one of the reasons why people keep following after these non-events like this Porter thing, is they don't want to talk about truly the way Americans are benefiting from the Trump administration policies.
Absolutely. They want to avoid it like the plague. They don't want to talk about the Trump economy, all the jobs coming back, Apple reinvesting $350 billion in this economy, and that's just one company. They don't want to talk about that, or record low unemployment. I mean, you saw the Democrats when those facts were being shared during the State of the Union scowling and shaking their heads. And that's why the media covers so breathlessly. They finally got excited about the economy when the stock market predictably corrected itself as we expected it to do when interest rates rise. They breathlessly will cover that, but no word of all the good economic indicators out there that the American people are feeling and seeing in their lives.
Yeah, and I heard some. I talked to somebody who was a so-called economist on regarding the stock market and then the economic development thing. And can we once and for all just basically blow out of the water this idea that this is an Obama economy? The bottom line is you talk to anybody out there in the business world and they act on forecasts. They act on what they can expect 3 years down the line. And so when you look at reinvestment in equipment, when you look at bonuses, when you look at reinvesting in the country, even if they're doing business out of the country, it's all based on forecasting. It's not something President Obama did 2 years ago.
Exactly. And to use an example, look at Carrier Manufacturing. That was the air conditioning plant that was going to send jobs to Mexico. That was announced. It was going to happen. It was announced last fall. Then when President Trump became president, they changed and brought the jobs back. Why? Because they knew a free market president was taking over. They knew taxes would come down. And that is what caused business to reinvest in this economy. Like you said, it's the forecast. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, Kayleigh McEnany, always great to talk to you. How's the book going, by the way?
It's great. It's been so fun traveling this weekend to go share with some folks in Texas about it, in Nashville now. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, somehow, if you get to St. Louis, and I hope that there's a plan eventually, even if it is just to see your husband play in the big show, right? Then hopefully we'll see you.
Absolutely. I'd love to come in studio. That would be a blast.
Sounds great. Well, we'll look forward to it one way or the other at Kayleigh McEnany on Twitter and KayleighMcEnany.com. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too, Jamie.
Take care.